What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope that everybody is enjoying their evening. You guys, I know it's been a minute, but I'm going to get caught up on all the past episodes. Today's episode was really, really good. You guys know I love The View, and I also want to branch out and cover other shows. I'm thinking Saturday Night Live and possibly The Daily Show, but let me know in the comments what you think. Okay, so for today's show, they were discussing the meme or the post that President Trump made of the Obamas putting their face on monkeys. And unfortunately, it's a very old stereotypical trope, and a lot of the ladies did not hold back. So, as you guys know, they cut to, Caroline Levitt, who is the press secretary. I mean, she's walked it back so many times. First, she said, it was a staffer. Then she said it was like the Lion King. She said that Kamala Harris was also included, and that there wasn't any racism. It was just supposed to be about, partisanship and blah blah blah, right? Because at the end of the day, Whoopi Goldberg was, she said, "Listen, I she said, you need to fact check, which is true, but also, she's like, I was in The Lion King. It was a great kids film, and we know that staffers usually don't have the president's phone at close to midnight, which is when he posted it. And it's really unfortunate because President Trump has a very long history of doing things against Black Americans. He was sued by the federal government for not renting to Black Americans, in New York. He has, he took out that full page ad of the Central Park Five, now the Exonerated Five, right? And these boys were teenagers, okay? Um, I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on, right? And so, Sonny was saying that, listen, this picture was racist. He is an unequivocal racist. Um, it is what it is at this point. Like, I mean, there's no denying it. There's no defending it. Alyssa said a lot of Republicans are pretty nervous. It's indefensible that they're going to probably take the House and the Senate in the midterms. But that's where we are at this point. It's unfortunate because I feel like racism really robs you of getting to know people for who they are. You know, like, just for instance, right? They were also talking about the beautiful halftime show. Now, I enjoyed it. I don't speak Spanish though. I took French in high school and in college, but I really enjoyed the show. I think the Bad Bunny did a phenomenal job of including his culture, which he was born and raised in Puerto Rico. And as we know, that is one of the territories, right, of the U.S. They also own the U.S. Virgin Islands, Guam, you know what I mean? So anyway, he showed so many aspects of Puerto Rican culture, from the bodega to, the taco stand, to having Cardi B and Ricky Martin was singing. And he climbed up one of the poles, right, to have the symbolism of the power outages for the Puerto Rican grid ever since. Well, it's been a while. I was gonna say ever since the hurricane, where Donald Trump, even when he was president back then, and you guys remember, he like threw toilet paper rolls at the citizens. It was crazy, or the Puerto Ricans. But yeah, Bad Bunny, he incorporated Lady Gaga and into and then he incorporated the wedding. Have you guys did you guys see that, where like they actually had the wedding, the couple invited him to their wedding, but he said no. Instead of that, why don't you get married live, at the biggest stage and the international stage in the world during the Super Bowl halftime show? And they were like, oh my gosh, of course. So that wedding was real. And then he also gave the Grammy to a child actor. His name is Lincoln Fox. And so I can't wait to see. I hope he like goes on, Abbott Elementary or some, kids show, Disney or Nickelodeon or something. But I absolutely loved it. And then he named all of these like Caribbean, nations throughout the Americas, Latin America. I mean, he named so many, right? All the way from like Barbados to Haiti to, I mean, Panama. It was just a lovely display of connectivity and exclusivity. And he really, talked about how important, it was. And Anna brought up a good point, right? She said that Benito talked about how important it was for him to believe in himself, because 10 years ago he was actually bagging groceries. So it only took a decade for him to, win Grammys and headline the biggest show, and he broke history because he had the most views in Super Bowl history. Last year it was Kendrick Lamar. And before that, it was Michael Jackson, who was the very first, huge Super Bowl star. But yeah, I'm like, he made history like last night. And Sunny says she talked about the history of the hat, where the hat was, where farmers would wear. And, she said that it became it was, right, a tool of like poverty. It was a symbol of poverty. But she said that they actually took it back and reclaimed it as their own. And so now it's a part of, the Puerto Rican land, and you're a part of the soil. And it was really beautiful, and it was really symbolic. So I thought that it was such an amazing answer to so much racism and so much bigotry that is plaguing our country right now, unfortunately. And here we have, Governor Andy Bashir, and he is saying that, listen, he feels that ICE should be completely withdrawn from every city and every community that they're in. He said this organization has to be reformed from top to bottom. He said that Secretary Kristi Noem also needs to be fired for incompetence. If you guys remember that, Keith Porter lost his life, Renee Good was unalived, and Alex Preddy. And they were so quick to name these people, the latter two, in Minnesota, to name them domestic terrorists. And it's like, no, they were peacefully protesting. Kristi was trying to get away. She was trying to drive away from the ICE agent. And he called her a effing B, after taking her life. And then Alex Preddy was trying to help somebody. They took away his Second Amendment protected, issued weapon. And they took his life 10 times. They and it's just like, and there's only certain words I can say here on YouTube, so that's why I'm trying to censor myself. But it's really unfortunate how violent ICE agents are. A lot of them are untrained. A lot of them have been complaining that they haven't even been getting paid, which is ridiculous. But I'm glad to see that, people are starting to speak up. I'm glad to see that, that the ladies are telling us how they felt about the meme that Trump posted, because they were asking that if it was a staffer, let's just say hypothetically that it was a staffer that posted close to midnight, mind you, would that staffer be fired? They played a clip of, him saying, you're fired from The Apprentice. And it's like, no, nobody's losing their job. Because again, most people don't believe that it was a staffer. It was President Trump, who just doesn't want to take accountability or responsibility. And I mean, he's already said that from the podium, that he said he doesn't take responsibility for anything. He's not held to account for anything. He's not taking responsibility for anything. And it's really a sad day, because this doesn't just affect Americans. This is a global problem. A lot of countries around the world look at America as being worse than 1930s Germany, and that we are becoming an international issue for a lot of people. I mean, we used to be the number one global superpower, and now a lot of people are wondering about our reliability and trustworthiness. So I enjoyed today's show. I thought all of the ladies did really well. Again, I enjoyed hearing from the governor. I enjoyed their discussion about the meme, the post. The Obamas are so classy. All they did was wish the Olympic, athletes in Italy. They wish them well. And I love, though, that Anna said that she, watched his Super Bowl 5 times. She said that she can't even quantify how special it was seeing Ricky Martin, seeing, so many nations represented. And again, Sonny with the hat. Anna said that this was joyful joy in the face of so much, micro. She said it was micro joy in the face of like macro turmoil. Basically, I'm paraphrasing, but I thought that that was really powerful. And so, yeah, during times of crisis or turmoil, whether it's in our nation or around the world, you try to find joy where you can. And so, I really enjoyed this. This episode. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Like I said, I will try to get caught up. I know it's been a while. I'll try to get caught up on old episodes and start incorporating other um, um, shows as well to try to build up the channel. So my puppy passed, and so I've been grieving him, and there's been a lot going on. But thank you guys so much for rocking with me. Please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I will talk with you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye.